has done a lot, not just exposing the idea of the fraud in Minnesota, but also exposing the sheer ineptitude of the journalist of the mainstream media, because all the dude did was take out an iPhone by himself. No giant camera crew, no satellite hookup, no going back to the boss and trying to clear a question or a story. He just went out and he knocked on the doors and he found all these people who have just been exposed for fraud, right? And the mainstream media is pissed to where the attacks have begun on Nick Shirley from the mainstream media, starting with our friends over at CBS News here.
Oh, boy.
Now, CBS News came out, and I want just a few things to keep in mind here as you watch this. This was actually pointed out here by this person before we actually watch this clip. It says, what you notice about this clip is different than Shirley is that Shirley is going door to door, showing you the businesses, knocking on the doors and filming the interactions. Here's a corporate CBS News journalist just showing you himself and telling you to take his word for it, as opposed to doing the door knocking Shirley is doing. This is just vanity. Take my word for it journalism. And this is from CBS News right here. Let's see what they had to say.
It was really during COVID that fraudsters set up these fake restaurants or sham businesses and health clinics that would provide things like meals to school children or behavioral health services or housing to people with addiction. And because during COVID, you didn't have the same checks and balances, you had social distancing, you couldn't have the site visits, you couldn't have the in-person inspections, well, the fraudsters got away with it all and provided the receipts and collected boatloads of cash from us, the taxpayers. More than 90 people have been charged in the schemes, mostly Somalis, and more than 60 people have been convicted. Now you have this viral video getting traction online. It's from influencer Nick Shirley, and he visited several daycares, Somali-owned daycares in the Twin Cities, and basically accused them of doing the same thing, running these sham operations where kids didn't show up, but still billed the federal government and collected millions of dollars in Medicaid funds. We visited those sites too, as did state inspectors many times over the last 6 months. And we found the facts on the ground tell a different story. Those daycares, many of them were written up for safety violations, things like maybe busted equipment or staff training issues, but that's not the same as being fraudulent. So it's important to put all of this into context. Granted, fraud is indisputably an issue in Minnesota, and next year, it's going to turn up the heat continuously on state officials, including Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, who's running for re-election. And there are 14 programs, Medicaid-funded programs, that are currently under investigation by state and federal government. But childcare is not one of them. Again, this is something we're
Would somebody please, for the love of God, think of the fraudsters?
Yeah.
Please. I want to point this out really quick. There's some very clever wording in here, right?
Yeah, context, which I think is ironic because he just removed all the context.
I want to play this for you really quick, okay? Listen to the phrasing and the deliberate way the words are put together here, right? And look, as there's somebody who knows about words, it's definitely me, as somebody who can't read or write, right? But just pay attention. If I picked up on this, anybody can. Listen.
We visited those sites too, as did state inspectors many times over the last 6 months.
Okay, did you hear that statement right there? It makes it sound like they visited these places many times over the last 6 months. We visited these places, as did state inspectors over the last 6 months. Small but important wording right there, which makes you go, oh, well, they covered it. They've already been looking into this, which they haven't, right? Which they, am I wrong on this? I feel like I feel like this makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's just trying to make it sound like it's them who's actually uncovered whatever case of fraud there may or may not be. Before Nick is what I
That's
think
what I'm
you're trying
saying.
to say. Yeah,
Which did not happen.
No,
Yeah.
My favorite thing, like I just said, though, was where he says context is important. He said that towards the end where you stopped it, which again is funny because he removed all the context. He's basically saying, "Oh, we checked everything." Okay, so you're saying that he just went door to door without showing any evidence of doing so, but now you're saying you did the exact same thing again without showing any evidence of doing so.
But take his word for it.
Yeah, it's just like he's a trust me, bro.
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely stupid.
Sounds like a paid advertising.
Yeah, it's CBS.
Well, people have in the comments, you can just see the response to this. Chris Gore, no one watched you anymore. Trust broken, repair beyond repair, pure propaganda.
George.
Everyone knows it. Yeah, George, just eat a dick.
Mhm.
Yeah. James Klug, journalist, goes out there, just talks to people, says you can't seriously think this is journalism. Go door to door, you fat lazy fuck. James Klug laying it down under there. Salty says, we don't believe you, fatty. And there's Nick says, the media is in it's not happening stage. Can't wait for the why do you care that it's happening? Followed by okay, it's happening, but it's a good thing, and concluded by the highly predictable you're a racist if you don't like that it's happening phase. That's right. So that's where we're currently at there with CBS News, but also CNN went out to expose Nick Shirley on his fraudulent report here. Have y'all seen this?
Mm-mm.
Coming from the Anderson Cooper handle here. Following the viral video, federal resources have surged to investigate alleged childcare fraud in Minnesota. CNN's Whitney Wild had a chance to question YouTuber Nick Shirley about his claims. Let's just see a little bit of this 3-minute video here.
We're from CNN. Can we talk to you?
And at that point, you say no. Just throwing it out there.
We're from CNN. Can we talk to you?
No, you can't.
This is MAGA YouTuber Nick Shirley back at a day.
Okay.
Labelized them already.
Right. Within the first line, MAGA YouTuber, which by the way, I'm no longer going to call Nick Shirley a YouTuber. I'm just going to call him a journalist because that's what he is.
He's
he goes
doing
around.
more than the
I agree.
actual journalist. So
I agree.
100%. I don't think it's fair for him. That's like this person saying, well, she's an X reporter because she posted this video got posted on X, right? Or she's an X influencer, or she's a YouTuber because her video is going to go on YouTube too. The only difference is that it's going to end up on a TV station which nobody watches, which on YouTube way more people it'll be exposed to what's going on, or Rumble or whatever. Go down the list of whatever video platform you want. And I refuse to call him a YouTuber from here on out.
Daycare in Minnesota, he alleged was a fraudulent facility in a now viral video.
People are going to say this is a left or right issue, but no, fraud is fraud. And so I'm not out here trying to put a twist on things.
Shirley's viral video, released over the weekend, in which he says he's uncovering tens of millions of dollars in fraud at Minneapolis daycares run by the Somali community, was retweeted by Elon Musk and Vice President J.D. Vance.
Once again, the phrasing here, trying to say, well, look, this is retweeted by Elon Musk and JD Vance.
yeah, make it right wing.
CNN viewer, right? Yeah, exactly.
I'm just wondering if at the end of this, if Nick Shirley is going to go and take all these statements that all these people from CBS, CNN, all these other things that honestly you can consider these slanderous, you can consider them untrue, and make a nice little lawsuit.
It's true.
Man, that'd be awesome. Well, let's continue here.
In the video, Shirley tries to open locked doors and talk to people at various daycares he claims are frauds.
Once again, Nick Shirley tried to open locked doors. Guys, are you listening to this? Are you serious? He tried to open doors? Get out of here. It's amazing to see. Once again, it's all just kind of like the packaging of this. You can just read right through it from beginning to end. In the first 35 seconds, MAGA YouTuber, retweeted by Elon Musk, JD Vance, tried to open doors to daycare centers, alleged all these things happened. They try to put you in a box and keep you there. And this is why they hate him, because you get the gist of the entire video. We don't need to go very far into that to know how this is going to be. But it goes back to, would somebody please, for the love of God, think of the fraudsters. Please think of the people who are committing billions of dollars of fraud here. Not the guy who's trying to expose to it. Not the guy who did our job way better than us. And that's why it took so many days. It took like 2 days before any news outlet would actually cover this story because they got beat to the punch. They don't want to showcase. They don't want to seem like they got one-upped by a dude with an iPhone, which they did, because anybody with any sort of journalistic standard who thought, hey, well, let's go investigate this. You don't have to go to your media head, your news head, your head of production or your head of whatever, and say, hey, I got to pitch the story. Nick just went out and did it. It just goes back to what we talked about. Just go do it. Just go do it. It's amazing.
It's true, but why none of they going out and asking these questions, right?
That's exactly the problem. They are embarrassed. I think legitimately it's a little bit of embarrassment here, right? And if I was one of these news organizations, you know what I would do? I would hire Nick Shirley.
Bingo.
Yes, immediately. I would hire Nick Shirley and I would say, you did such a good job. This is what we want. But here's the problem. Nobody's going to do that because he is not a cog in the machine. He is a wrench that gets thrown into that machine and it busts the whole thing up. And they don't want that. They like, people want to think that news in general is this nonpartisan. And we all seen this over the last, decade or so, just how slanted news is. I've been in these newsrooms before. I've seen how it acts. The amount of slant and propaganda, it's all built around relationships. And if I do this, then this person won't give me this interview and blah, blah. It's disgusting, where this is why journalists who post on YouTube like Nick Shirley will ultimately be the next CNN, the next Fox News, the next pick whatever outlet you choose. This is the future. And Elon Musk is 100% right when he says you are the journalist, and he's 100% right. You are the news media right now. I 100% agree with that. We have every single tool in our hand, literally in our hands, to deliver news on a day-to-day basis. Crazy.
Because it doesn't generate any type of revenue for these networks. They have to create news articles that are going to clickbait, basically, instead of finding out the truth, which he's doing. I mean, let's be honest. He's exposing something that hasn't got any attention. Think about how many local news stations are in that Minnesota area that's not covered this at all. And now all of a sudden one guy talks about it. Now everybody's covering it. Well, trying to cover it up in the sense of like, oh, well, he did X, Y, and Z, pulled doors, MAGA supporter. Like, what about the details? Are these people actually fraudsters, or instead of they're more directing it at him instead of the actual problem?
I don't think they're fraudsters. They're just part of the system. The news media. That's just it. They're part of. There's a military industrial complex. There's big food. There's big pharma. There's big news, right? And if you don't think that's the case, then I don't know what to tell you. I got to be honest. I remember when Trump came out and was saying, fake news. You are fake news, right? And it was very off-putting to me initially because I was taught when I went to broadcast journalism school to report. You do not be a part of the story. Your job is to report the story and give it a fair and balanced take, right? I think I may have been in the last class that was ever taught that. Maybe, possibly ever, right? But it was a very old school teacher who taught us that. But when Trump first said that, it was kind of off-putting. I was like, what the hell is he talking about? Because that was not my experience. But it's became the veil has been pulled back in such a major way in the last few years. And this is a great example of it here. And Nick Shirley continues. This says, mainstream media is more mad at me than they are that the fact that billions of your dollars are being used for fraudulent businesses. I am not an enemy of the people. They are. I'm with you. They aren't. They are against you. Remember that. I like that right there, man. I'm totally on board with what he's saying right here. And this is, once again, a 23-year-old kid. I mean, look, and there's been some allegations that that he had some tips from like the GOP. The GOP was like, hey, you should look into this, right? Well, welcome to fucking news media, dude. There you get tips all the time. You don't think that CBS and NBC, any other outlet, NBC, Fox News, they don't have relationships of people saying, hey, you may want to look into this. Hey,
they have like hotlines.
Fucking A.
But
every
also,
day.
who gives a shit? The story, like focus on the story. Okay, great, whatever. That's cool, fun story. How's about? Let's talk about that fraud now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit? Okay, that's awesome.
Yes, I 100%.
And I do love that guy. Is like, we reported this many times before. Great. Why did no one hear about it then?
Cool. Yeah, exactly.
Here's a question. Amazing.
Yeah.
Where was it?
Yeah. Why didn't you bring it to the authorities? Why didn't you bring it to the administration? Why didn't you bring it to the Department of Justice? Why didn't you bring oh, okay, cool, great.
All right, cool. So you're on board. All right, what are you doing now?
Good.
Nothing? Great. Okay. I hate these people.
I do too. It's funny because I was watching a show with my daughter last night. It's some kids show that's about, some generic show where they go to this like prestigious school. It's like X-Men, right? It's like whatever. And there's a journalist or a news media person who, this was made in 2020, this show. And she's like, don't you know that people hate the news media? They don't trust us. And this is like in 2020, right? And I was like, yeah, that's right. Nobody does like you, and it's just to see that trickle down to like a kid's show, and to see like, she's like, what people like us less than tax auditors. It's like, well, we could use both those right now. Tax auditor, right? We're going to continue with this story here in just a minute, and kind of how Nick Shirley has spawned several other Nick Shirleys and how deep this fraud has gone.
Real fast, I just want to say, to tie it all back to like the entertainment business, that reminder that CNN is actually for sale right now because CNN is owned by Warner Brothers, and who's going to be buying Warner Brothers? Netflix. So maybe, just maybe, wishful thinking, dissolve CNN. I'm just saying, that'd be fun.
Netflix won't dissolve CNN.
I know. I'm saying wishful thinking here.
Right, so they would monetize the crap out of it somehow.
I know, but can you imagine? It just goes like, we don't want to, like Toy Story meme. We don't want to play with you anymore. Just leaves it alone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Lee, go ahead. Yes.
No. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Lumpy. Go ahead.
I think the Netflix thing is actually huge because they've been taking a lot of radio station over to Netflix, like a lot of personalities and deals for this new year. So that's a good point, Craig, to keep an eye on how they get intertwined with the news. I don't know.
Yeah. Tim Lee says, support Nick Shirley by buying his Leering hoodie. Not sponsored, by the way. Happy New Year's to Side Strollers. Montez also, Shirley just at the Trump admin asking, what can I do? A few hours ago. Oh, really? So he was over there. It's good. And by the way, yeah, that is a brilliant meme. That may be the best meme to come out of 2025 was the Leering Center. Look at the hoodie that they have. That's great. Pretty good stuff right there. Prairie says, or Prairie 19 says, call these people corporate journalists. Yes. Or just cogs in the system. I think it may be a better way to say it. Anthony says, you don't hate the mainstream media enough. Yeah, I'm with you on that, dude. And Prairie came back, says they want to call him a problematic influencer. Or if they call him that, call them a corporate journalist. Yeah. Thank you, Prairie. And Delta says, to think 2 years ago we considered studies on shrimp and how their sexual performances changed on the water temperature was a waste. Thank you, Delta. Yeah, that's was that real? My God. All right. We'll get to the rest of your supers, direct donations, and Rumble rants here in just a little bit. Let's go to continue the story here. Now, we've talked about Nick Shirley a lot on the channel, and Nick Shirley has done, like I said, he exposed the news media, he's exposed the fraud, he's exposed a subsection of society that is just totally abusing all this stuff. And probably one of the best things that's come of this whole thing is that Nick Shirley has spawned other Nick Shirleys, right? We've seen this quite a bit where people have decided, hey, I'm just going to go do it too. I'm going to go door to door and I'm going to go see what I can find. And that's exactly what we're seeing here in this situation, as we have more people that have just said, okay, hey, why don't we just go check this out? This is in Seattle, Washington. This person went to 20 different locations here. This is a 5-minute clip. You're going to get the high level of it very, very quick. but much of the same that you find in Minnesota here.
We got rain. So as you can see, no one here is answering. It's just past 10 a.m. right now. Hello, looking to get some information about childcare. Okay, so as you can see, I just asked about childcare. Is this childcare for children? It's not? Yeah, I just want to make sure this is Coakley House. Yes. Okay, just wanted to make sure. What's the email address? This is Marine Childcare here at 20.
That's pretty much all you need to know.
Is that a residential building? Like a like an apartment,
Yeah,
like
they're
townhouse?
houses.
Yes. So all these are like subsidized housing in Seattle that these folks live in here. And guess what? They called the cops because they were not happy. And here's the Seattle police here. He did this for I think he said 20 different houses. And wouldn't you know it, they felt threatened. Now, this dude was packing heat. He was making sure he was safe going out there. And sure enough, the residents of this area felt threatened by him because he was packing heat. And so they called the cops and said they felt like they was threatened here. And, it kind of go back and forth. And I'll just play this last minute here to kind of after the police interaction.
Here in Southeast Seattle, with as many people showing up as there are, and kind of ugly that was starting to feel, I think I'm gonna probably call it good for today. I mean, that's pretty intense. We've got 2917, 2918, two Aaliyah and Rihan right around the corner. A lot of people getting angry here, and I think we know why. And then Tawako, Basha, Ilhan, Bright Family Daycare, Honey Home Daycare, Kayla. There's 12 of them that I've been to now that have indicated that they mostly are not operating above board. So
it's exactly what you'd expect.
There's a lot of kids in that area, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, absolutely. There was an instance here. I think it's at the very tail end. Where is it? There was an instance where he was getting yelled at. Yeah, right here. Look at this. As a lady literally threatens him as he's trying to walk off.
This is absolutely. What?
I'm gonna wait till I come in my house. No.
You want me to come in front of your?
No. Just go, sir. Have a good night.
That's not like a threat or something, is it?
No, it's okay.
Okay. All right. Have a good day. Whoa. Wow.
You can see people getting quite upset that their hand has been caught in the cookie jar, if you will, and they're not very happy about this. So you can see things escalate a little bit. So we have Minnesota, we have Seattle, and we also have Columbus, Ohio.
It keeps adding up.
Over 40 daycare centers in Columbus, Ohio opened up using the same defunct Somali shell company on the same day and collected $14 million in subsidies in 2024 alone. Just cut off all the subsidies altogether. It's out of control. And there's a giant list here of all the people here. $14 million in 2024 with a shell company here. So many questions when it comes to all this. I feel, and by the way, I have more examples of this, plenty more examples. The list goes on and on. Washington, Seattle. I said this yesterday. It's not just a Minnesota thing. It's literally probably every state in the union, right? And this isn't necessarily, yes, primarily they're focused on Somali communities right now, but it's probably, it doesn't matter if you're white, black, gay, straight, whatever. I don't care. Fraud is fraud. But thinking that will make you a racist or sexist or Islamophobic or whatever, right? So we're in a situation here where this is rampant, and this idea of cutting off all of these subsidies, all these different incentives here. There's an old saying that I've heard. What's the old saying? One bad apple ruins the bunch, right? And in a situation like this, I think everybody who's doing it right should look at these situations and they should be very, very mad at these people who are screwing it up for everybody else. Because I think that's exactly what should happen. They should cut off everything, all support to these things, and say, look, I'm sorry. Look at what's happening. I know that you're doing this right, and I wish we could help you, but $9 billion. Like, it seems like such a simple
That's
thing.
wild.
And will people get upset? Yes, they will. Think of the children. Think of the children. I get it, right? But you can't think of the children. You can't say think of the children when there's millions and millions, tens of hundreds of millions of dollars that are going out that are supposed to be meant for children that aren't ending up at the children. So don't give me the think of the children nonsense.
I agree. It's crazy. And it's honestly, it's a brilliant plan, right? Because you would never think that it's these children, like daycare centers and all these things that are actually harvesting all this fraud, right? You'd be like, the children, it's really good use. We're going to put the money to use. No. It's smart. It's very smart. Because everyone is very sympathetic when it comes to children all the time.
Right. You are guised by the children. You're shielded by the children are here. Just hold up that child. I'm just helping the children. That's all.
Yeah. What children? There's no
Now, somebody who should probably be helping, should be helping the children is, I don't know, maybe the Washington state senator. I don't know if you guys saw this, but in response to the massive daycare fraud being exposed, Washington state senator Lisa Wellman has pre-filed legislation to hide information about daycares and their operators from the public.
Yeah, because her paycheck's at risk. That's why she don't get her cut.
Allegedly.
Yeah,
allegedly, right? Why would you do that? And once again, I think it's under the guise of like, probably, hey, we want to protect the people, but like, I think they're a public business. They're providing a service. Anybody should be able to walk up to it and do exactly what any of these people are doing. Hey, where are the children?
Especially when it's funded by tax money.
Yes, exactly.
Here in New York, you're able to pull up every police officer's disciplinary action in public view. Ain't nobody protecting that. It's you're paying taxes for certain things that go towards certain things. You want to know about it, not hide the information. It looks sketchy. It looks very sketchy.
Now, a lot of people have been really upset about this. We were fairly black-pilled on the story earlier in the week, saying, "Oh, well, what's going to be done here? What is actually going to be done?" In Phoenix, you've been fairly more black-pilled than usual when it comes to this, more pessimistic. But you're saying just keep trying, That's the most important thing, right?
Well, no, I'm always. I mean, I've been black-pilled for like 20 years, but the idea is that it's like, okay, well, what do we do with that, right? Like, do we just go, okay, we lay down and die and just let this continue? Or do you find ways of fighting back smart? Like, so that's what I always say is you have to keep the white pill momentum going. You can't let all that, the terribleness around us, the fraud, the darkness, all that stuff that weighs down on us, let it get to you. You have to be inspired to fight back. So I always say you have to have that white pill as a goal. So yeah, this is always horrible, but look at what's happening from it, right? We've got this kid out of nowhere that's coming down, taking down single-handedly the media, and people are getting behind him. You're seeing that the news is doing nothing to respond to this. Usually when a news story breaks, what do you see? Every outlet usually jumps on that. They project it on their screens, and they're not. So then people start going, this is weird. Why is the internet showing me all this stuff and my media is showing me zero? Why is that? And a few people start questioning things. So there are these great shining moments that happen, and you have to focus on that, and you have to put that on a pedestal, kind of like what we're doing right here, and bring that to light. And slowly but surely, you start making a momentum.
So what is actually going to be done about this? Now, thank you for putting this in the private chat. We actually have a couple examples of this right now. This comes from Deputy Secretary Jim O'Neill. I don't know who this person is, but I guess he's the Deputy Secretary of the HHS, says, of Human Health Services, we have frozen all child care payments to the state of Minnesota.
Action.
You probably read the series. Well, I'll tell you what. They actually.
If you watch the video, it's pretty. Yeah.
Let's go and see it.
Hello, I'm HHS Deputy Secretary Jim O'Neill. I'm here with Assistant Secretary Alex Adams. Alex oversees the Administration for Children and Families. Intrepid journalists have made shocking and credible allegations of extensive fraud in Minnesota's child care programs. We believe the state of Minnesota has allowed scammers and fake daycares to siphon millions of taxpayer dollars over the past decade.
My office, ACF, provides Minnesota $185 million in child care funds each year. That money should be helping 19,000 American children, including toddlers and infants. Any dollar stolen by fraudsters is stolen from those children. Yesterday, I spoke directly with the director of the Minnesota Child Care Services Office. She could not tell me with confidence whether those allegations of fraud are isolated or whether there's fraud stretching statewide.
Today, we have taken 3 direct actions against the blatant fraud that seems to be rampant in Minnesota. First, I have activated our Defend the Spend system for all ACF child care payments across America. Starting today, we require a justification, receipt, or photo evidence before we make a payment. Second, I have just signed and sent a demand letter to Governor Walz. I required a full 360 review of these centers. This includes attendance records, licenses, complaints, investigations, and inspections.
And third, we've launched a dedicated fraud reporting hotline and email address at childcare.gov. Whether you're a parent, a provider, a member of the public, we want to hear from you. Let me be crystal clear. ACF expects every state to uphold the highest standards of oversight, monitoring, and accountability for federal dollars. Minnesota is no exception.
We're committed to holding bad actors accountable. Regardless of rank or office, anyone who's involved in perpetrating this fraud against the American people should expect to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Love it. Love it.
See? A little bit of white pill in there, see?
It's good. I just don't believe that Walz is going to get in trouble whatsoever, though.
No, of course not. But you can't. We can't just stop. It's like, look, there's momentum here that we didn't expect to see, and we're seeing it, right? So you got to just keep the momentum going. Keep it going.
Here's the thing, though, is in that video, he said that they provide $185 million, right? Which is great. But that does not account for the other money that's coming from the state of Minnesota. Right.
Yeah, that's just federal.
Right. This is just federal. So look, the walls are closing in, and that's a great thing. That's a very good thing. And, and the walls apparently will continue to close in, as earlier today we had, what's her name? Her name is Caroline Levitt. She's like the speaker for the president, I guess. Is that her job, right? Well, she was on Fox News, and she dropped a pretty good bomb here.
Governor Walz is completely incompetent. He always has been, and President Trump has long.
Pretty funny, not gonna lie. Yeah. That's not the bomb. We'll see.
Called him out for his incompetence and his poor leadership in the great state of Minnesota. I want to commend Nick Shirley for his incredible video in real journalism that went viral this past week. He epitomizes what new media looks like, and that's exactly why we at the White House, under President Trump's direction, have embraced new media journalists like Nick Shirley. We've welcomed them in to the White House press pool. We invited Nick Shirley to brief the President of the United States at an Antifa roundtable earlier this year. And this fraud in Governor Walz's state in Minnesota is something the Trump administration has been working on since day one. And since Nick Shirley's journalism really brought this issue further to light, we have surged resources across the board to the state. So I want your audience to understand this is a top priority for the administration. The Department of Justice, as we speak, is continuing to execute search warrants and subpoenas. People will be in handcuffs as a result of the fraud that Governor Walz has allowed to occur for many, many years. The Department of
Okay. People will be in handcuffs for this. I asked this yesterday. I said, what is the likelihood of anybody, big fish, getting arrested? If you were to put a percentage chance, so let's just say, maybe not even Walz, right? Let's just say someone high in his administration, someone overseeing where that money goes. What is the likelihood of one of them being arrested?
0.
Yeah.
It's 0. But if it was the other party in power, it would be 100%. They love to jail their enemies.
You're still at 0, huh?
Yeah, you're gonna have people just step down from their position. Be like, I just happen to step down because I think it's more important. You know how it is.
Yeah, we've seen it time and time again. The best example is the most recent one, COVID.
Well, you said that yesterday, yeah.
Yeah, but like again, nobody's ever been jailed, so why should this make a difference?
I hear you on that.
They're not going to go to jail, but the more powerful thing, in my opinion, is that more and more people stop trusting the media and stop trusting their elected politicians. That maybe they start looking at alternative political parties or whatever, or even they themselves want to start going into office because they're just tired of every side. Whatever it is, that's the white pill for me. I don't think anyone's going to jail. They never do. But you just hope it inspires the people to look in other directions and then tell their friends and family, and then that starts the whole thing.
It should be an eye opener, really. People should educate themselves.
Yeah, bingo.
I mean, it's common. I mean, with our technology, like you said, Craig, it's like everybody has the opportunity to record and be a journalist and be informed in real time. You don't have to wait, right? And all it takes is for you to actually look the research. Just look at it. A common person can tell you that this does not look right at all. Numbers don't add up. The daycares don't look good. Let's be honest. There's no signage. They're in residential buildings. There's 14 on one block. Does that not? Business must be booming in that area. Either that.
Okay.
Baby boom.
Talk about this. This just came across my X feed talking about this. This is absolutely insane. And the fact that somebody could actually look at this and be like, yeah, that makes sense. A manager at one of the daycare centers in Minneapolis reported that someone broke into their facility and stole all of their documents. All of them.
Yeah, this guy's getting out. This guy's in the Caribbean by tonight. This guy's leaving. This guy's
their fucking documents are written in crayon, these fucking morons.
Are you kidding me? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, by the way, they also burnt them, and they stole my car too, which had something. I don't,
Soon you're gonna have the fires, right? The insurance jobs. Oh, the daycare went on fire. I don't know. All the stuff was inside of it.
The irony of all this is that while they don't have documents for their daycare center, I bet this person doesn't have documents for himself either. Just gonna throw it out there. Bada boom! All right, but I'll tell you what. There has been some fun things that have come out of this, right? Obviously, the memes have been great. We talked about the Leering Center. Did you see the new toy set that's coming out, courtesy of this event? This is brand new, breaking here on the show. Excited to share this with you guys. A new playset, Blabs, for you to play with your nephew with.
Thank you.
Check it out.
From Starwave Toys, it's the Quality Leering Center playset. The place where kids can't read good, but the cash sure does.
Whoa, empty desk.
Load up the money counter and watch the grants roll in.
Guard the door.
Deploy the fully armed Somalian security figure. He's got the place on lock. Create daring government audits and massive defrauding action. Just don't do from
That's amazing.
There we go.
Batteries not included.
Batteries not included. That's right.
See, and what I love about this is, like, as the memes pour in and as, all this stuff keeps percolating, and then you get to see, a guy like Waltz come out and just say, it's white supremacy. You just start to really start hammering down on that authority. That power is going to start to crumble. Like, those are the things that make me excited.
2026, we got to get rid of the race card. We cannot use it anymore. That's it. It's done. It's done.
It's been done for a while.
Yeah, like, we need to bury that thing because we need to, because that's crazy. That's crazy. This whole right wing, left wing. No, it's just the truth and the people that are hiding behind it. Really, that's it. And the people that don't want to get exposed. Well, the internet never fails. It never fails, especially in this generation. Everybody has these things. Everybody's on it 24/7. The more stuff that comes out like this, the better. I hope this encourages other people to go out and find different things in their state, because this is that educational thing. Instead of just trusting CBS and all these mainstream news medias, actually go out. People actually going out and actually doing their homework or getting behind the lines and finding out what's the truth or not. That's what we need.
Well, the other fun thing about this, and I agree with you 100% Lumpy on that. I don't know. Did you guys also see that there's a list of the top most wealthy people in the world that just came out? As expected, Elon Musk is at the top of the list, but if you scroll down,
I thought he lost. I thought he was number 2 now.
Well, this is just right now. Well, number 2 actually is Somali daycare owner number 1. Is closely followed by Somali daycare owner number 2, and then number 3. So, just something to keep in mind as you guys go. So
we're opening up daycares in 2026.
Yeah,
Is that the
let's
meta?
That's right.
First it was
Step
Amazon
one.
drop shipping. Now it's open a daycare.
Gotta get
Craig,
in
we've
that
been
drop
trying
shipping.
too hard. Let's just open a daycare.
I know, like we're talking about relocating everybody down to Dallas, and it's like, well, we can get all the money in the world if I just
Side care. That's our
Yeah,
next
side care,
endeavor.
yep.
Care scrollers.
Dude, could you imagine if
I can.
our office just looked like a daycare and it had like little slides and ball pits?
I
right?
can identify as a 12-year-old boy, and then we have our child.
There we go.
There we go. That's wonderful. Thank you, Blabs, for
Volunteer.
It's good. You are
long as I get a
tribute right there. Your dad said you should watch this next video, and you don't want to disappoint Dad, do you?